Hey guys, it's Heather here, and today I'm bringing you the first sneak peek in the December 2015 update, and it is a big one. It's a total game changer. It's a very thematic change that really is a long time coming because this is what I think the developers intended the game to be like from the very beginning. But this aspect of the game has been largely untouched, and it's led to a lot of confusion of new players, just completely unthematic in your gameplay. It's unbalanced gameplay where defense doesn't really come into play, and also allows unbalanced playing to be easier and more prominent. You know, imagine if other aspects of the game had remained untouched, like destruction of the army camps meant you lost all your troops in those camps. Talk about a clan war clutch moments nightmare. All right, so the big change. Town hall destruction no longer grants a shield. You're gonna have to bring that town hall inside. Attacking while shielded no longer breaks the entire shield, but instead costs a bit of the shield time. So two major changes. Under this new system, it's going to be entirely possible to get attacked, get a shield, and then attack 2 or even 3 times, maybe even 4 times, without forfeiting all of your shield. So how your shields are going to be acquired now has nothing to do with the number of stars you get. So if your base is destroyed at 30%, you get a 12-hour shield, 60% is the new 14-hour shield, and then 90%, how it's always been before, is a 16-hour shield. However, they know we're sneaky, they know we're smart. They're putting some safeguards into place. So you don't get a shield if the attacker doesn't deploy at least 50% of a full army. Now that's based on the defense's town hall total army, including their clan castle, their army camps, and their heroes, not on the attackers. So if you have a town hall 10 that comes in and wipes out a town hall 8, it's going to be based on the max capacity for that town hall 8. So that makes that 50% a little bit more reliable to make sure that town hall 8 would get a shield. So being shielded no longer prevents entering multiplayer matching, browsing your targets, or attempting a revenge. You actually have to start the attack before you're going to start losing your shield or dinging time off of your shield. Executing a multiplayer or revenge attack while shielding will deduct 3 hours from the remaining shield time for your first attack. And then each attack after that will reduce it by an additional hour. So your second attack is going to be 4 hours off. Your third attack is going to be 5 hours off. Fourth attack, if you can get one in, is going to be 6 hours off. So let's talk about some of the reasons why this needs to come into play, why the developers thought this was important to change this up. Because first, getting a shield is unreliable. Others may not attack you for a long time. You know, if you're in the lower trophy ranges, you may be sitting there waiting to get a shield for like 6-7 hours. Finally, after 8 hours in the middle of the night, you get attacked when you have 8 hours worth of stuff in your mines, and that's kind of rough. The other thing is having a good defense means that you're not getting a shield in the current system, but where they've lowered down that percentage, there's a higher chance that having a good defense is going to gain you trophies plus a shield. So that's a really good thing. It's going to make you focus on your defense a lot more than you ever have before. In the past, your shield timing has been completely inflexible. If you get a shield that's often too long or too short for what you need to attack. So if you're getting geared up, hey, my shield's gonna run out, I'm gonna start a 2-hour session, and something comes up, you forget about it, and boom, you get attacked again. It's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just attack tomorrow. In the current system, breaking your shield is usually frowned upon. I encourage people to break your shield before you go to bed at night, and then break it sometime in the morning. Clear your pumps and mines out, make sure they're at 0, and then go ahead and break your shield. And that's still something you probably want to do, making sure that when you're available to be attacked, you have less resources available in your mines and pumps. But it's going to allow you to do more attacking throughout the day by not having this hard line of 12-hour shield and then wait 12 hours if you're going to utilize that shield to the fullest. So I think this change up is really good. And then of course, shields are being given to the Town Hall snipes, which means you're getting a shield without actually defending, and that's hurting the matchmaking, hurts resources and the trophy flow. It just kind of makes it boring. That's how I've played the game a lot because it's easier. I take a lot of Town Hall snipes, be up in Masters, you get a pretty good loot bonus, and there you go. But it's not that fun. It's like you're doing a job because it's like, well, I need to get the resources to get my buildings going, so I'm just trying to maximize the easiest and quickest way I can do that. But now it's going to force people to actually play the game. They're going to have some nice features included with the attacking, like the attack cost is going to show you how much of your shield you're going to lose if you start that attack. Of course, if you hit next, it doesn't cost any amount to your shield. It's just when you actually start the attack. I'm still assuming that if your 30 seconds has run down and the attack has started, you can't hit next anymore. You can likely still cancel out of that if you haven't dropped a troop and not lose any of your shield. Just assuming that. That's not anything that I've seen in any kind of the sneak peeks that talked about that. Now there's more coming to this part of this new aspect of the game, but I'm not part of the Supercell sneak peek insider trading group, so I can only speculate on things here, but I can speculate on things a lot more than those guys can. But before we start to mourn for farmers, remember there is more coming out about the shielding system, including the village guard and the personal break. So let's just take this sneak peek into consideration. Let's talk about the impact. What's it going to do? Okay, number one, sniping town halls is done. Victory and defeat conditions for the battle remain unchanged. So taking the town hall or getting 50% on a base will still give you a win, but not necessarily give the defender a shield. Theoretically, you could leave your town hall on the outside and hope that people will only take your town hall while you're saving for a high-priced building, but you're going to get attacked over and over and over again, faster and faster, lowering your trophy count, putting you into the range where no one cares about trophies. And then they're just going to wipe you out. There is also prevention in place to not create other methods of sniping. Like I said, you can't place all of your non-loot bearing buildings in a corner and hope for an easy shield either, because people will just deploy, their hero, take it all out, get themselves their loot, and then, you're just going to get attacked again. Okay, so no more low-level town halls in high trophy ranges. You can't have these town hall 4s sniping their ways to champions. Or we're going to have a lot of low-level town halls in high trophy ranges because an earlier change to the game made it so you're more likely to find your same town hall level while attacking. So if there's more town hall 7s and town hall 8s who trophy push, who go for the higher loot, who know now that they have to attack, you're getting out of that farming mode, there's likely to be a lot more of those who want to trophy push. They're going to be matched up against each other. So considering that the loot bonuses need to increase to make it, more balanced for these high cost armies that we're going to need to spend to attack, there's going to be a farming benefit to being in a higher trophy range. The third impact I'm going to see this have on the game, it's going to make better Clash players because you're going to need to attack, and you're going to need to attack with a good, strong army. You can no longer get easy shields and then just protect your loot by putting your town hall on the outside. It's going to make it nearly impossible to save for these really expensive buildings just by collecting your mines and pumps, because roughly twice a day, you're set to be completely wiped out by a powerful army. One of those attacks on your maxed out storages, Town Hall 9, is going to deplete your collections for almost a day. So 2 attacks and you're in the hole. The fourth potential impact I see it happening, 0.5 town halls are going to be in a really tough spot. It's going to be difficult to keep those resources with your weaker defense. For someone like me who has a 0.5 war account, just collecting mines and doing a war isn't going to be enough to get me those expensive upgrades. And let's be honest, it shouldn't. There may be a lot of complainers about these changes because it disrupts our system of play. And you know what? That's okay. I really see these changes being good for Clash altogether because it's really how we assumed it would be when we started playing in the first place. By attacking, defending, causing destruction, and being completely deflated over your village being destroyed. Honestly, it's gonna make us all focus on a part of the game we just don't focus on that much because defense truly is going to start winning some championships. You're going to need to make sure you have a good defensive layout so people will use at least half of the troop space that you have. And making sure you have a good enough defense can be tough for a 0.5. 50% deployment seems a bit high to me considering the number of troops I use on some of my attacks, but when you consider there'll be, no longer that safety net for your Town Hall snipe, it's probably all gonna work out. Okay, lastly, the fifth impact I see it having is we're going to be playing Clash a lot more. Yep, they're pulling us in because now you can play Clash throughout the day without having to stay online. It's probably going to be a huge change. People who Clash a lot like me can do more attacks throughout the day, slowly breaking your shield, but being able to train up the next army without having to keep myself online. That's gonna be big. So I can take a break throughout the day, do an attack, set my device down, have it train up an army. It's gonna say, hey, your troops are ready, and I can go do another attack. That's gonna be pretty cool because I hate trying to stay online. I always get attacked. I never remember. So remember, you can do roughly 4 attacks before your shield is completely broken, depending on how fast you're training your army. This means more attacking, more people available to attack. It means you can get some attacks in while you're waiting for other things like clan war donations to come through without the fear that you've completely lost your shield and you're gonna have to hang your head in clan chat and say, hey guys, I need another golem. All right, guys, that's gonna wrap my take up on sneak peek number 1. Let me know what you think about the sneak peek in the comments below and how you're feeling about it, how this is going to change how you play Clash of Clans. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. Join my Bindle room by downloading Bindle. You can get that by going to clashttutor.com/Bindle. It's gonna forward you right to the download page, and then join the room, #ClashTutor. Thanks you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.